So Jubilant HollisterStier is what I'd say is a mid-tier CMO organization. So we've been around for almost 100 years, actually, the name. We specifically actually manufacture for multiple companies in over 40 different countries worldwide. But I think our sweet spot is specifically in liquid and lyo, and ultimately ophthalmic for those pharma companies, for the generic companies, for the specialty companies, and the biologic companies. I have a vision in terms of a mindset for the organization, and that mindset for Jubilant HollisterStier is to be a customer-focused, high-quality, full-service CMO. Customer-focused, high-quality, full-service CMO. That's a big word, but let me peel that back and tell you what that means like. So what that means is actually excellence in the eyes of customers in terms of what our sweet spot is. Excellence in terms of sterile fill and finish, liquid and lyo, and ophthalmic products. That is one aspect in terms of customer-focused, high-quality CMO. The other aspect is, though, over the next 5 to 8 years, we will actually double our capacity. We have major expansion projects I'll talk about later that will allow us to go from our existing capacity to double our capacity in sterile fill and finish in around 5 to 7 years, both our Spokane and our Montreal facilities. And I think the litmus test at the end of the day, and the vision for that, is do our customers actually retain us? Do they actually expand their product base with us? And do we actually create stickiness with our customers? And we have multiple examples to where we started with one company, one product. Fast forward a few years later, we have these same customers for 5 to 8 years and multiple products with these customers. So I think there's something there about when you put the customer first, that allows you to not only retain that business, but actually grow that business with that customer base. Lots of excitement going on, but there's one that I'll talk about that we actually announced last year. So late last year, we announced a almost $300 million expansion project for our Spokane facility. This is in partnership with the US government. And we are so excited about this one because essentially what it will do is take our existing capacity and double the capacity over the next 6 years. What we're also doing is actually bringing on new technologies, specifically with our Spokane facility. We're bringing on new isolator technology. Essentially what that is it allows us to work in an aseptic environment without any human interaction at all. So what that means is we're already at high quality production. This takes that production to even higher quality and improves our yields even more. So the benefit at the end of the day is that the customer ultimately gets high quality product with high yields. And if you translate that into the end result, that means the patient ultimately gets this high quality product that actually treats their medicine, whatever medicine or vaccines it's actually treating. That's the one thing I'm really excited about. But the other thing I'm actually excited about is over the last few years with COVID, we've had a lot of situations going on in the marketplace. But one of them is the need to actually manufacture COVID therapeutics. And we've had over 6 different companies come to us over the last few years and say, can you actually manufacture some of my COVID therapeutics? And we've been successful to do that. So what that tells me at Jubilant HollisterStier is we've learned the model, the secret sauce to basically say, here's how we could be agile, here's how we could be adaptable, and here's how we could transfer a product into our facilities, whether Spokane or Montreal, to be able to actually introduce these COVID therapeutics. And to me, that's why the government actually signed us with this $300 million partnership, specifically in Spokane, because we showed that adaptability, we showed that agility, and able to actually transfer new products into our site and meet whatever the needs are from our clients. So the customer base is a few. You've got big pharma, you've got small to medium-sized pharma, you have the biologic and the specialty groups, and then ultimately you have the generic customers. Those are our segments of customers for both Spokane and Montreal. Our sweet spot, just to repeat our sweet spot, is sterile fill and finish, liquid and lyo, and ophthalmic, full service offering in ophthalmic, ointments, liquids, and creams. That's our sweet spot for those customer bases. Our expansion projects, both in Spokane and Montreal, will allow us to double our capacity from today's production capacity. Specifically, in Spokane, we have approximately a $300 million expansion project with the US government that will allow us to double the capacity with new advanced technology, such as isolator technology, which allows, as I mentioned before, which allows our users or operators to work in an aseptic environment without ultimately coming into human contact with the product. Similarly, in Montreal, we actually signed an agreement and announced just a few weeks ago a $100 million Canadian agreement to actually expand our facilities in Montreal. What this allows us to do is, again, expand our sterile fill and finish products in Montreal, as well as our ophthalmic offer specifically for those customer clients. So over the next 6 to 7 years, we will double our capacity. We will actually continue to drive high quality product and ultimately try to put the customer first in terms of our vision of this customer focused, high quality, full service CMO. Jubilant HollisterStier is all around customer focus. To me, that's our mantra, that's our vision. We want to take an outside-in approach. We want to make sure that we delight the customer. The word we use is white glove service. There's very few companies out there where you're interacting with the SWAT team, the A team, in terms of the president, the head of quality, the head of regulatory, the head of tech services, the head of manufacture. Regardless of whether you have 3 batches a year or 100 batches a year, we will put the customer first and be customer focused. Second thing I'll say is, at the end of the day, the proof point's in your sustained long-term relationships. If you look at Jubilant HollisterStier's track record, we've gone from a few customers to multiple customers, but with those customers, the majority of them are 5 to 10 years long in terms of lifespan, and we have multiple products now with them. So that tells me something around they value the relationship, and we truly do put the customer first.